Okay, let's just dive right into this explainer. We're going to explore the absolutely awe-inspiring Kondaveedu Fort. I mean, we are looking at a monument of truly epic proportions here. It's been standing silent for centuries, right? But suddenly it's completely capturing our modern imagination all over again. So whether you're a huge history buff, you love brilliant ancient engineering, or honestly, you just want a phenomenal view, you're going to find this absolutely fascinating.
So you've got to wonder, why exactly is a 14th century fortress suddenly making headlines today? Well, it's actually experiencing a massive renaissance. Recently, a Union Minister of State announced some really comprehensive development plans to give this ancient powerhouse a vibrant, modern-day revival. So yeah, it's no longer just some forgotten relic. It's literally becoming a focal point of present-day development.
And because of all that new focus, its role has completely transformed. It's gaining massive popularity as a panoramic trekking destination. Just think about the sheer contrast here for a second. What was once a fiercely protected, impregnable battleground, where getting in literally meant a fight for your life, is now a highly sought-after sightseeing spot. It's drawing these huge, enthusiastic crowds who are just eager to climb the paths and get rewarded with those breathtaking views.
All right, moving to Section 1, the largest hill fort, scaling Kondaveedu. So situated about 27 kilometers southwest of Guntur City, this fortress doesn't just, sit on the landscape. It absolutely commands it. It's perched at this intimidating elevation, stretching anywhere from 1,050 to 1,700 feet high. Just imagine being a soldier on the ground, right? Trying to look all the way up at an enemy entrenched at that kind of crazy height. That massive strategic elevation is exactly what made it such a coveted military asset in the first place.
And hey, it isn't just tall, it is massive. Spread majestically across the rugged hills of the Kondaveedu Range, this structure holds the undisputed title of the largest hill fort in all of Andhra Pradesh. I mean, we're not talking about a simple lookout tower here. Actually, scratch that. It was more like a sprawling, self-contained military city built right up into the clouds. Which brings us to Section 2, Centuries of Conquest, the Dynastic Tug-of-War.
So the story really kicks off around 1335 AD. That's when Reddy begins construction, officially shifting his capital from a donkey to this soaring vantage point. But as you can probably guess, a fortress this good, it doesn't stay in one family's hands forever. By 1516 AD, it was actually captured by the legendary Krishnadevaraya of the Vijayanagara Empire. And then later on, it was seized again by the Golconda Sultans, who actually renamed it Murtazanagar. So it's just this continuous, chaotic, centuries-long transfer of power.
Honestly, this fort was touched, built, and battered by almost every major player in the region. You've got the foundational Reddy dynasty, with key rulers like Reddy and Kumaragiri leaving their massive mark. But even before and after them, regional powers like the Telugu Chodas and Kakatiyas were actively strengthening those walls. And on the flip side, you had these massive forces like the Gajapatis and the Bahamanis launching relentless, heavy sieges. They were literally throwing everything they had at this fort just to claim it. Let's dive into Section 3 now. Architecture of the Impregnable, Building a Behemoth. Now, because the fort changed hands so incredibly often, it acts like this layered canvas of military engineering. It's a real mix. On one hand, you have heavy Hindu architectural influence. That meant favoring these massive granite stones, resulting in immovable walls that housed historic temples and grand palaces. But then, on the other hand, later Islamic rulers came in and introduced the strategic use of lime mortar and new structural integrations. This mortar essentially bound those huge granite blocks together, creating a hybrid fortification that was way, way stronger than the sum of its parts.
To really appreciate this, I want you to imagine you're an invading army. You aren't just facing a basic wall. You're staring straight up at 23 massive, heavily armed bastions. We're talking about strongholds with fearsome names like the Tara Baruju, Reddy, and Nemula. And what if you try to just walk right through the front door? Well, no way. You'd be forced into highly strategic, heavily guarded choke points at the major entrances, the Kolapali and Adela Darwazas. It was an absolute gauntlet, purposefully designed to break an enemy's spirit before they even got a foot inside.
And that brings us to Section 4, Legacy of Kondaveedu, Beyond the Battles. The fort wasn't just a place to fight, it was a place to survive. Amidst the stupas and temples that really underscore the region's historical sanctity, they built these incredibly brilliant water conservation systems. The Muthialama tank is a perfect example of this. This isn't just some hole in the ground, folks. It's a highly advanced, ancient storage system that literally continues to efficiently hold water year-round, even today. It's a massive testament to the forward-thinking engineering of its creators.
So as those new development plans pave the way for thousands to walk these historic paths once again, it really makes you think. When you're hiking up those 1,700 feet today, feeling the exact same wind that soldiers felt centuries ago, what other ancient, untold secrets are simply waiting for you to discover within those massive granite walls? The history of Kondaveedu is vast for sure, but its story is still far from over. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and hey, keep exploring.